For the financial year, sales increased from 5.4 billion to 6.1 billion, an increase by 13%. For comparable units, sales grew by 2%, and acquisitions added another 11% to sales. Our EBIT grew from 437 million to 501 million, an increase by 15%, and the EBIT margin landed at 8.2%. In Q4, isolated sales grew by 15%, and comparable units increased from the full year to 9% during this quarter. And the EBIT grew by 24%, and the EBIT margin landed on the same level as the full year, 8.2%. We've had a great focus on working capital during the year, and we made an all-time high level on cash flow, almost 480 million from operations. And by that also the net debt to equity came down a bit, and the equity ratio landed at a high 39%. During the first half of the year, the business climate was totally for the group stable, despite the relatively volatile demand. There were fragmented market in terms of geographies, different customers, and different product segments. During the third quarter, the business conditions were more positive, but sales were weak due to a number of customers taking a cautious approach to purchasing before the calendar year end. During Q4, though, although we got back the postponed deliveries from the third quarter, they were made according to plan, and thereby we had good organic growth growth of both sales and EBIT during the fourth quarter. Totally for the group, demand has been more stable than earlier during the year, and the business situation now is a little bit more positive than previously. Business conditions gradually became more stable during the year, but it was still hesitant for production components to the Nordic manufacturing industry, and especially customer segments like the vehicle and the engineering industry, machine builders. This particularly affects the business areas Components and Industrial Solutions, where the Danish and Finnish market had tougher market conditions. The Norwegian market was continued on a high level, while the Swedish market recovered slightly during the year. Outside the Nordics, we enjoyed very positive development. Within the life science business area and the energy business area, demand has developed pretty well, with all-time high EBITs in both of these business areas. After a very high volume of deliveries in the electrical transmission segment during past year for the business area energy, our customers has announced slightly lower investment levels for the current year. During the financial year, we have passed two milestones: 6 billion kronor in sales and 500 million kronor in EBIT. The EBIT margin this year has been slightly more than 8%, but here I believe we have more to work with going forward. This demands organic growth, so it's back to work with our fundamentals, which is the entrepreneurship in the organization, which in turn is the willingness really to develop, to do our customers happy with our products and solutions, and thereby being able to sell more. We have a very strong balance sheet, so we aim to complement or build our operations with more acquisitions and develop Addtech's operations even more. That's always a focus for us. It's a great group with a lot of fine subsidiaries and committed personnel, so all the conditions are there to continue with good profitable growth.